The Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr.
Well, there it is.
Quarterback, Washington.
That is the first surprise.
This idea that Penix would sit for 4 or 5 years is
Yeah,
one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in 23 years.
The negative was he's
of
too
covering the
old
NFL.
about being drafted. Now we're going to sit him for 4 years, right?
Welcome back to the most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube. Welcome back to Swivel Chairs Sports. I'm your host, Zach Circlebar here with the host today, Aaron. Go and say hi, Aaron.
Hi. If you like our content, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment and let us know what you think.
But other than that, let's go ahead and get into it. So in this video, we'll be taking a look back at quite possibly the most puzzling draft selection this 2024 NFL draft, where the Atlanta Falcons, after paying Kirk Cousins a large amount of money, I believe it was 4 years, $180 million, $100 million guaranteed, they decide to draft at 8 overall Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington. A lot of people feel like they could have went some other directions here. Maybe defensive line, edge rusher. You could have even went Rome Odunze to help improve the wide receiving core around Kirk Cousins, who you paid so much money to. But for some reason, they went quarterback. And it's left us all kind of scratching our heads, wondering
what an idiot.
what the heck they were thinking. Probably not least of which is Kirk Cousins, who came out right after the draft saying or at least his camp came out right after the draft saying that they were a little concerned that this selection may not improve the team this next season, which is understandable because obviously they already signed Kirk Cousins. You can't play two quarterbacks in the NFL. At least I'm not sure you can.
Well, you can.
You could, I guess. You could maybe line up Penix, maybe line them both up in like a split back, but they're both just the quarterbacks, and then the center decides who he's gonna spike, who's gonna snap it to. You know, that'd be
Line one up under center, one out wide. They do
maybe
a double pass.
Yeah. Most teams choose not to play two quarterbacks at once. Call me crazy, but I don't think that's exactly the strategy they want to use. Yeah, according to Kirk Cousins' camp, he was obviously really surprised by Falcons taking Penix. According to his agent, I believe, they got no heads up regarding this selection. Mike McCarthy, Cousins' agent, said the quarterback was surprised by the selection. Yes, it was a big surprise, McCarthy told NFL Network. We had no idea this was coming. The truth is the whole league had no idea this was coming. We got no heads up. Kirk got a call from the Falcons when they were on the clock. That was the first we heard. It never came up in any conversation. So, with that being said, Aaron, do you think the Falcons may have had an obligation of sorts to inform Kirk Cousins when they were looking to sign him that they may be considering taking a quarterback at number 8 in the upcoming draft?
I don't know about an obligation, but it certainly would have been nice, I'm sure. I'm sure Kirk would have been like, yeah, a little heads up.
Yeah.
Would have been lovely. Now, with that being said, Kirk did Kirk things, and his contract is damn near guaranteed. So it's no skin off his nose.
You like that? You like that?
This is all on Atlanta, if you ask me.
Did you see the video of the general manager? How do you pronounce his last name? Fontenot.
Yeah, I think that's right.
He was trying to explain the draft selection to Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank was just like, "What are we doing? Like what is going on?" But yeah,
you think he'd be clued in a little bit as to what they're planning on doing?
Yeah,
especially at 8.
It almost feels like the GM went rogue. Now he did come out afterwards. Obviously, he kind of had to explained their Michael Penix selection, and basically he came out and said that if you believe in a quarterback, you have to take him. And if he sits for 4 or 5 years, that's a great problem to have because we're doing so well at that position. So it's as simple as if you see a guy you believe in at that position, you have to take him, which I understand to a degree. Now, the difference with this situation versus maybe like the Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes situation a few years ago, they told Alex Smith that they were thinking about taking a quarterback if they could, that draft. Alex Smith was cued in before the Chiefs made the selection. From the sound of this, they didn't even call Cousins until they'd already put the pick in. They were like, oh, hey, by the way, we totally just took your replacement. So just a heads up there. You better get that Achilles in shape because if not, Penix is coming in. So
Also, they didn't just sign Alex Smith.
that too.
He'd
Yeah.
been there.
He'd been there for a few years.
They
It
literally
wasn't the
just
same
signed Kirk Cousins.
It's I don't understand it. I really don't like if you were nobody who was actually a legitimate analyst, a legitimate draft evaluator, nobody had Penix in the top 10. If you were so confident in Penix's ability, why sign Kirk Cousins to a $100 million guaranteed deal? It just doesn't make sense to me because you know you could have taken him at 8 before you even signed Kirk. I'm just yeah. Go ahead.
I think this is more akin to the Packers drafting Jordan Love situation with Aaron Rodgers still there. Because you bring in Kirk and, you've automatically got, especially with the team that they've already got there, they were pretty much just missing a quarterback and maybe a couple of defensive pieces, but you sign Kirk and that automatically makes you a playoff contender and possibly Super Bowl contender. So you not making an immediate decision to help the team get one step closer is, I think, what everybody's kind of confused about.
Also, you're in the weakest division in football. If you improve on your areas of need, you should win that division. Get yourself a home field advantage in the first round, maybe even top 2 seed. Who knows? But instead, you bring in a guy who I think we both think is going to be really, really good at the NFL, but he's not going to be able to play this next year, assuming Kirk Cousins is healthy. He's not going to be able to help the team this year, assuming Kirk Cousins is healthy. So do you think this may be in the back of their minds in the Atlanta front office, like, ooh, Achilles injuries, you never know about those things. Maybe Kirk Cousins doesn't come back the same, and we have to put Penix in halfway through the year to help save our season.
Yeah, but I'm just not convinced. I mean, sure, QB insurance is great. Taking it at 8,
Yeah,
I don't think is what you want to do.
No, I agree.
The only way that this makes sense in my mind is that they plan. The only way this makes sense is they draft Penix to set 1, maybe 2 years, and then trade away Kirk, which they can't. He's got to
Yeah,
be there for a minimum of 3 seasons because he's got a no trade clause.
yeah. Well, and that contract's going to be
So
hard enough to trade anyways. So,
yeah, exactly. So
do
I don't really
maybe they plan on cutting
understand.
him when the guaranteed money's done. That could possibly be an option here in 2 or 3 seasons. Most of the guaranteed money's gone. They just cut him, cut bait, start Penix.
If you have to set Penix 3 years, to me, it's not worth it.
Right. Not when he's
You
gonna
could have spent those 3 seasons going for a title with your number 8 overall
Byron
tackle
Murphy
or
or yeah.
wide receiver, D tackle. Yeah. Something that's actually helping your team as opposed to your QB insurance
Right.
sitting and, I guess, learning for the future, but still.
Yeah, and I mean, if he does sit 3 years, then he's starting in year 4. That's 2 years on his rookie contract that you got him for before you have to pay him. So you're either going to find out real quick that you made a horrible mistake taking him at 8, or you made a horrible decision not starting him earlier, because now you're going to have to pay him a max contract here in 2 years after he finally gets to start playing a little bit. So it doesn't make sense from a financial standpoint because you don't get the benefit of starting a rookie quarterback financially. And then you also took the oldest one in the draft when you could have taken the youngest one in the draft, I believe, in J.J. McCarthy, or one of the youngest ones in the draft in J.J. McCarthy. A guy who you probably feel okay with sitting 3 years to start his career because he probably needs that long to learn behind a mentor like Kirk Cousins. So I think even if they did take quarterback at 8, J.J. McCarthy would have made much more sense. Even if you do think Penix's ability is better, why sign Kirk Cousins? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to do both. Unless you got anything else. I think that'll do it. For this episode of the most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube, Swivel Chair Sports, I've been your host, Zach Zuckerberg-Burkle, here with the ghost today, Aaron. Go and say bye, Aaron.
Bye.
Alright, please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Other than that, deuces.